Hi everyone, how are you doing tonight? So glad you're back to watch So Curious. Today we're going to talk about procrastination. Have you realized that even if you have the time, you still procrastinate? Well, you just don't feel like doing it. At least not at that time. I mean, maybe later you'll take care of it. You want to decide when something gets done. That's all there is to it. So today, I am going to skip over why we procrastinate and the examples I found of that we procrastinate doing, and I'm going to go straight to the end. What I was going to talk about at the end, which my research says are the strategies to beat procrastination. And then me, as a non-professional psychology person, I'm going to analyze it. Then later in the video, I'll jump back to the whys and the examples and we'll go over those. So let's get on with the program here. First of all, the people that I have used as research are number one, my good friend ChatGPT. The next was GoodTherapy, and the final one was Psychology Today. So I will let you know when I'm talking about something that they said. So let's get on to it. Strategies to beat procrastination. Break tasks into tiny steps, 5 minutes only. Now, I don't really get that as far as procrastinating. I really don't. I mean, I understand the logic is probably if you'll do it, if you start, you'll keep doing it until it's done. But I'm not sure if that's where they're going because that's all they give me. So if I wanted to clean my living room, I consider four tasks. I'd have my wood floors to clean, my carpet to sweep, my rug, my furniture to dust, and maybe straighten up a little bit. I could I could possibly do that in 20 minutes, give or take 5 minutes to get all the equipment out, and then 5 minutes to put it all back. Um, but I live by myself. And as I mentioned many times on my videos, I like to clean. I enjoy it. So I don't have that much to do in my living room. But let's talk about somebody who has more than one person in there living with them or has a family living with them. It's not that easy. And 5 minutes per task is not going to be enough time. It's just not going to be. The next one is use the 2 minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. Okay, I get that. But wasn't it 2 seconds before? I mean, I remember growing up, my mom saying, it'll take you 2 seconds. And I also remember telling my own kids, it will only take you 2 seconds to clean that up. So now all of a sudden we got 2 minutes to do it instead of 2 seconds. So a lot can be done in 2 minutes. I mean, you can make your bed in 2 minutes, depending on how you sleep, but you could do that. Reward yourselves after finishing tasks. Now, this one I loved. Good Therapy suggests this that once I organize these files, I'll enjoy a 15-minute walk outside. Okay, at least it's a tip. But I'd rather take a nap after organizing files. I mean, I used my brain up. I didn't use my feet up or I didn't need to exercise. My brain's blown now that I've organized all these files. But okay, they gave a tip and I get it. Go outside, get some fresh air, whatever. Psychology Today suggests this for rewarding good behavior. Establish a reward if and only if you do what you set out to do. Do not let yourself binge that new Netflix show, check your social media, or get lunch until you complete what you've scheduled. So instead of using these tasks and distractions to procrastinate, make them contingent on you actually finishing what you schedule yourself to do. Okay, so now we can't even eat unless we get this done. And what if I'm cleaning my living room? My TV's in there. Why can't I watch the Netflix show while I'm cleaning? I mean, it's some of this stuff. I just don't understand what they're trying to do to a procrastinator. It's just to me, it's just adding more and more pressure. Now you can't even eat. You know what I want to know is this after a 2 minute rule or is this after the five minimum tiny steps that you had to do? I mean, because if it was me, I'd say, well, now that I finished that 2-minute rule, I'm going to watch a 3-hour movie now as a reward. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. Make tasks social now. Share goals with a friend for accountability. Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. Have you ever gone on a diet and mentioned it to your friends so they can help you be accountable? How'd that go for you? I mean, how many times did you hear as you put that one potato chip in your mouth? I thought you were on a diet. I'm just saying. They're not sitting there with a whole bag in their lap and just putting their hand in every 5 seconds. It's just thoughtless sometimes. And so, no, would I ever share goals with a friend for accountability? I might share my goals, but I'm not going to share them for accountability. It's up to me when I want to get something done. Not my friend, not my relatives, nobody but me. I'm the one that has to do it, not you. Reframe task as choices, not chores. Now, the last I knew, life is all about choices. Every single day, you are faced with a multitude of choices. So, it doesn't have to be a chore. It's everything. Everything you do is about choices, and it's up to you to make a good choice or a bad choice. But you can't reframe a task and say it's a choice and not a chore and not chores, because it is a choice. It's a choice whether you want to do that chore or not. I mean, it's a choice. So now, good therapy suggests some people develop biases against particular tasks, convincing themselves they simply aren't good at certain things, which creates avoidance patterns. Like what? I mean, no examples are giving. I'm not sure what they're talking about, because I believe that there are particular tasks that I know for a fact that I'm not good at. I mean, I'm not going to be able to put up shelving in my garage. It's one of my goals, but I don't have the tools. I don't have the know how or the strength to do that. I know I'm not good at that, but I'm not avoiding it. Instead, I ended up creating a new solution to the task, which was buying shelving. So some things we're just not good at, and we know it. So now let's go back up to why we procrastinate. Ought to be interesting. Um, Tasks feel overwhelming, so we avoid it. I don't know if feeling overwhelming is what causes us to avoid it necessarily. And it's just because I think that other people experience same things that are not procrastinators. They need to break it down in their minds a little bit more before they do it. So, instant gratification is another one. They say TV or snacks feels easier than chores. Really? Of course it does. um, it's not an instant gratification. It's To me, it's more. I don't feel like doing it right now. I mean, this is my opinion now. It's not everybody's out there, but this is mine. Fear of failure. There's always got to be that failure word used when you talk about procrastinators. It's better to delay than risk not doing it perfectly. Now, I know there's perfectionists out there, and I get that, and they do want to have everything perfect. And they'll get there eventually if they keep at it, but I don't think it's necessarily a fear of failure. I mean, because we can't do everything. We don't know how to do everything that's out there, and there may be something in our goals that we'd like to maybe try, but it's not a definite, it's not a thing of failure. And then it says our brains favor short-term comfort over long-term gain. um I don't know if anybody's looking at the long term gain immediately, and they're really not even looking at it till it is actually done. But one of the things that they say, for examples, what procrastination is, it's like putting off cleaning a closet. Now, I even said this in my video. that I did on decluttering, that cleaning your bedroom was the hardest room to clean. I even provided an easier tip to get rid of clothes that took possibly a year to do, depending on when you took this tip and started it. Procrastinators and procrastinators both have the same situation when it comes to the bedroom closet. It's not a procrastinating thing. It's nobody wants to tackle their bedroom closet. But this is what Psychology Today said. It suggests if you've been putting off cleaning out a closet, imagine walking into that closet when it is decluttered and how good that will feel. And consider how much money you will make by selling the items on eBay. First of all, if you're talking about a procrastinator, do you really think they're going to be selling their items on eBay? I mean, that doesn't even, again, make sense in my head is how much money they'd make by selling the items on eBay. If they're procrastinators and they don't even want to clean the closet, they're not about to start setting up a website on or a site on eBay and figuring out how to sell the items on eBay. It's not going to happen. And then those who are in need will feel great if they receive these items as donations. Now, we can take them to charity shops, but somebody else has to pay for them. If you take them to a charity shop, I personally only know of one church that actually takes in donations, and their clothing is free to people who need clothing. So, but I don't know how many of those are around for everyone to do. I don't. And then it says waiting until the last minute to pay bills. So what? They're paid, aren't they? I mean, it's possible, just possible that they don't have the money until the last minute. So again, trying to make procrastinators feel less than is just not the way to make them want to get some of this stuff done. So I'm not buying that one either. Ignoring the to-do list we wrote last week. Again, so what? How many people? I'm a list maker. I make lists all the time on things I want to do or get done or what I want to do next month or whatever. I don't follow them to the T every time. I'm just writing down ideas. So who cares if they wrote that to-do list? And then is it possible that something else came up that was more pressing than completing a to-do list? There's things that happen in our lives that doing a to-do list actually will go to the bottom of it. It's not that you're ignoring it. And like I said, I write lists. Some of it I mean, and some of it I don't. I just write it down, and maybe I will get to that, or maybe I won't. It doesn't have anything to do with being a procrastinator or being a non-procrastinator. And then there's different ones like, just doing the dishes, making your bed, sweeping the kitchen floor, cleaning the toilet bowl, dusting, getting an oil change, washing your car. Those are all things that I guess we could put those in that 2-minute rule and get those done. If you're a procrastinator, that might be some easy ones that make you feel accomplished. So, try those. Everybody knows if you don't get an oil change on your car, what can happen. So even if they're a procrastinator, they're aware of it. But again, I've seen non-procrastinators do this and have to pay the price of what happens to their car without an oil change. So anyway, that's it for the procrastinators in our lives. And if you know any, hopefully maybe you can look at them just a little bit differently. Like, is there really something wrong with them, or they want to get around to it when they want to get around to it? And give them a break, maybe. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and like the video. I'd really appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you that have watched this video. It makes me feel really good to know that it interests you in some way. So stay curious with me. And until the next one, bye.